And then all of a sudden, another big hallucination. But the hallucination this time, all I remember seeing was a woman's figure and her hair was swaying backwards and forwards. There was trees behind and there was sun coming through trees, like leaves. And then there was a black face and hair that was just swinging backwards and forwards. And I could see that the hair, as it was coming up and shining off the light, was brown. Didn't think anything of it. Next morning comes, my mate who I'm with gets a phone call and says, oh, you want to come to a barbecue? And I was like, fuck yeah, is there food? He's like, and so we pulled up into this street in Wimbledon and we got out of the car. And as we got out of the car, Kristen came walking around the corner and the sun was coming through the trees. And as she was walking, her hair was like swinging backwards and forwards. And I remember looking at it and I didn't make the connection straight away. I'm a bit thick. And I just said to my mate, Sarge, the words just popped out of my mouth, is that her? And he's like, what? Because he didn't know who she was. He's like, is that who? I was like, is that her? He goes, dude, what are you on about? And I was like, her. And I was like, what am I? And so it kind of became awkward for a second. And then she walked into the house that we were about to walk into. He's like, oh, her, yeah, it must be her house or she's a friend. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what I meant. And then, yeah, we just connected. And I think the reason we connected is she challenged me. Like we were having conversations and she was like challenging my philosophies and challenging my beliefs. And I love anyone that can challenge. And so we walked out, and as I walked out, I hadn't even got to the car, she'd already added me on Facebook. And that's kind of how it started. I proposed without a ring.
Oh, that's lovely.
It was a spur of the moment. I didn't even, I had thought, no, not at all. No, I'd been thinking about it. We're lying in bed, it's 1:30 in the morning. She's lying on my chest, we're just talking, and I just went, propose. I went, will you marry me? She's like, I was like,
and then little Noah comes along.
It's probably been the greatest defining moment in my life to date. And from the moment she showed me the pregnancy tests and I fucking literally screamed like a little child, like ran around, did a little happy dance. And the moment he was born, like 26 hours later, I didn't sleep the whole thing. I was there, I was present, I was on. And then the moment he crowned and his head popped out, oh my God, I was a fucking blithering mess, absolute mess. And yeah, it's given me much greater purpose to my life, much more respect for time, much more respect for money, but also much greater respect for legacy. Because I now realise, you know, I'm leaving more than just a reputation behind. I now have a son, you know. Yeah, that's the story of how we met. Yeah, it was unique. It was unusual, but it was certainly, yeah, it was meant to be. And it couldn't have happened in a more perfect way. So the social experiment is basically about a company, aka ours, that has absolutely sucked at social media for years, but then decides to use social media and see what happens. So this weekend, we're going to be stepping into fear, and we're going to be using a lot of different metaphors, opportunities and ideas to get you guys on the edge of feeling fear and then learning how to step into it and step through it. So our goal this weekend is to actually take you to where you're afraid and help you actually start to use fear in a very helpful and practical way. Because is fear helpful? Fear is very helpful. It's very practical. And we're going to be talking about the practical elements of fear by actually exploring and stepping into it. And that means a lot of discomfort. I think the requirement to face our fears determines on what it's holding us back from. For me, it's not about, you know, trying to just cure fears for the sake of curing fears. It's about looking at the triggers and the fears that prevent us from doing the things that we want, and then doing the work that's required in order to conquer those fears. For me personally, I like my aspirations are to become fearless. You know, and what's interesting is being fearless isn't being absent of fear. It's having less fear. It's fearless.
That's a baby diamond. It's a boy.
You've seen that interview with Steve Irwin when he's like pulled it out and it latches onto his neck and he keeps talking?
Well, I don't scare him, so he won't bite, and he hasn't got venom. Now that's a python, but it's very difficult from a distance to tell a python from a. You might have to cut him. He's biting my neck.
So, who are my friends that have fears of snakes? Use the tools. Just regulate, breathe. That's it. Now we got a legitimate fear. Breathe, breathe. It's okay. No, just breathe. You don't have to run. Breathe, keep breathing. Keep breathing. Deep, no, deep, deep. Shh, deep. Deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. Please don't bite me in the face. That's going to really freak her out. That's it. Keep breathing. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. I'm not going to come near you. I'm going to step away. I'm going to step all the way over here. Okay, I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Okay, now I want you to picture in your mind what it is that you see when you see a snake. Okay, and I want you to start playing. Can you see it now? Can you see that picture? Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to turn the brightness down and just see what happens. Just turn the brightness down. So it's starting to go less bright, almost black and white. And there we go. It's a little bit black and white. Okay, now I want you to zoom away and zoom back. There we go. Okay, when you feel ready, open your eyes again. Feeling better? Okay, would you like me to step closer or would you like to step closer? That's it, keep breathing. That's it. There we go. Feel how beautiful he feels.
It's cold.
Yeah, poor little guy's been in air conditioning all day. Have a look at this one, he's a bit cute. Have you ever touched a snake before?
No.
Have you ever thought you would touch a snake?
I was peeing in my pants before.
It's okay, I thought I could smell something. It feels pretty good, huh?
It's actually cold.
Yeah. It feels so nice. It's okay. It's okay. He just wanted to turn around and say hello. It's okay.
I have to come back.
It's all right. When you're ready. Do you want to pick up the little one? There we go. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful.
Thank you. That video, wow.
These are now tears of joy. Everything that you want is on the other side. If you can do this, what can you do? Ladies and gentlemen, give her a massive round of applause. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I always love that. One of the reasons I do what I do is because I love seeing lights go on. And the significance of that event is for people to look at that and go, realize it's got nothing to do with snakes at all. It's got to do with fear. And once you get a bit of momentum with this, then it becomes a situation of, all right, let's find the fear.
I think this weekend's going to bring up some shit.
So, do you know the best time to heal?
Now, the biggest issue that I've got at the moment is just still getting closure with Jack.
So you can't, until we can be grateful for something, we can't get closure. So these questions might sound a little insensitive, but they're not intended that way, so I just want you to be completely open. But what I'm going to explore with you now is what's the benefits of Jackie's death. And I know as hard as that may be, the more
benefits, I'm getting closer with the kids.
Okay.
That I'm realising that I need time off and I need to be out of the business.
Is it fair to say that her death has potentially opened a door for freedom for you?
Yes.
And I don't mean freedom as in no attachments. I mean, you know, the insurance. It's almost like Jackie's a little guardian angel, and her passing has given you a gift that is going to give you the freedom that in business that you perhaps always wanted.
That's it.
That's pretty massive.
It is a massive thing. And it is. It's amazing how she's just left a gift.
What else is a benefit of Jackie's death?
Appreciate life more. Make every moment count.
Is that new? At this level?
Not at this level, yeah.
Yeah. Are you grateful for that perspective?
Yep. There's a lot of benefits. I know there's heaps of benefits.
Are you seeing more than you've seen before?
No, I know there's equal parts of good and bad.
That's an easy intellectual concept, but the fact that you don't feel closure is an indication that you're not really there.
Well,
You haven't accepted it.
It's just a loop that's not closed.
No, I get it.
And I just want to close
I get
the
it.
loops.
But you don't need a letter from a coroner to close this loop. What's going to close this loop is when you can reconcile and internalize the gift. And you can actually go, I wouldn't change what's happened. As hard as that would be, when you can get to that point, you've got it. And it's not going to happen overnight, you know that. Energy is not created or destroyed, it just changes form. What are the things that you miss most about Jackie?
Just the chat we used to have.
Where else is that now showing up?
Well, I suppose there's other people that I'm talking to.
We can look at every single thing that you missed about Jackie and we can pinpoint where it's now come and showing up. Jackie's here. She's just expressing herself in different ways. Through other people. I use the same tools that I give to everyone else on myself. You know, and a lot of people don't realize I didn't develop these tools in isolation of experience. I discovered everything I did through trial and error. And I just so happened to be so curious that I documented everything I did to really try and replicate it and, you know, refine it and improve it and then see if it worked if I taught it to other people as well. Anyone can use the tools when life is easy, but it's when the shit is falling apart, that's when those tools become most important and that's when they're hardest to use. And thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you, brother.
Well done.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you coming.
No, thank you. Look, I would like to perhaps have a chat to you.
Yep.
And see if I can work with you.
Okay. He has a tactical training business. He actually trains military, police, special forces. I'm like, dude, I'm coming. Yeah, I would love to do some stuff with you. I want to go and fucking shoot shit and blow shit up. All right, so we're just about to get picked up by Ray Mancini. I'm here with Matthias. Matthias, you nervous about guns and stuff?
Oh, I shoot with a camera all the time. How is it, Kerwin?
It's good. It's just nice to get back in the flow.
Yep.
You know, start picking everything up because even when I was trained, the guys who trained me, they taught me a lot of bad habits. Like a lot of bad habits.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I like the repetition. I love the repetition. I love the repetition.
Repetition is
like like if you would let me, I'll stay here this afternoon for 2 hours and practice. Like just that. Boom,
Done.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's
We'll
how
keep going.
I'm obsessive. How do you want me to?
Here, because it's a heavy, fast.
That's what I was saying last
Finger off the trigger.
when you go for that.
Jesus Christ. Hang on, let me get my tough face on because I can't stop smiling. She's heavy. Yeah. Well, really? Is it okay?
It's a very social experiment.
Yeah, this is like a very social experiment. The camera brings out the worst in people because when you bring a camera out, everyone acts differently.
You just buckle. It's like,
No, it's not buckle. Just people act differently. It augments people's behaviour. They become a lot more self-conscious, and that's what I love about it because it forces you to live at a level where you have to be comfortable with everything you do being seen by everybody. And I like living that way. Like it holds you to a higher standard. Like it really does. You know, it makes you think. And what's interesting is that even before we were doing this, I always used to think when I used to write emails, imagine if the whole world saw this email. Would you be okay with that? And so it used to really make me sit on things and really think about how I communicate as a person, you know, not just on email. And so when this happened, it was just like, yeah, I like it. It holds you to a higher standard. So we're in Perth, Western Australia, just finished second day of the Advanced Weapons and Tactics with Ray Mancini of the SIG groups. Today, yeah, live fire. We got onto some big weapons. Some of which we can't talk about. But what's really interesting is, it's less about the weapons and more about the process of having the information stick. And one of the things that I love about doing this is it really is a high stress environment. You're playing with things that can basically make not only loud noises, but put big holes in you. And so the stress manifold is increased many times over. For me, this was just me finally being able to do something for me that I hadn't been able to do in a very long time. And in order for me to be the best version of myself, then I have to pursue the things that light me up. I have to do the things that I really enjoy. Yeah, and go and play with some guns and do it in a very practical way. You can teach anyone how to shoot a gun, but it's learning how to shoot the gun under high pressure, learning how to deal with malfunctions under high pressure. That to me is just, yeah, how do you do what everyone else can't do in situations that no one can comprehend? Marin. Kerwin. Guess what?
You make a decision?
But tomorrow, we will have hired an event manager. You!
You're so excited.
Yeah. It makes me so happy to make you happy. Like, I live to make you happy. There's nothing worse than seeing an individual not be able to perform at their best because they're not surrounded by good support. Let's hire more people. Let's grow, let's scale. We're hiring about 20 people right now. So we're going through a massive rate of growth that we've been planning for the last 3 years, but we're here now. Like, I feel like a 16-year-old startup with a bag of cash. Like, we really are.
It is a startup.
Yeah, it is. And I don't want to I really hope we never lose that. I love scaling. Like, to me, like, it is, yeah, scaling is the fun part because it's where, you really get to start investing in the things that make a real difference within the organization. And 3 new sales guys starting next week, all high caliber. Actually, filmmakers, we could probably do 2, couldn't we, easily? But if we hire all 3 and one of them doesn't work out, at least we still have 2 left over. My theory is we'll just bring a lot on, we'll see what sits, what doesn't. We decided to hire all of them. So we will have 4 filmmakers, and again, like, this is gonna be next level shit. I feel like we're finally starting to scale, like, finally. Because it's been, it's been in the works for so long.
We've been working for so long to try and get like departments outside of one person, and all of a sudden it's like boom sales, boom events, boom customer loving, boom, like it's been sticky for a long time, and now it's just popping. Yeah. And it's so exciting.
I can actually now say with my hand on heart, one of our strengths is recruitment. I think, yeah, I was just thinking to myself, that deserves a round of applause, and then you started.
What do you think? What's the sign?
Well, the sigh is like I was giving myself a pat on the back when I literally had only just taken the training wheels off. The reason I was giving myself such adulation there was we'd come a long way, from not getting any new hires in whatsoever to all of a sudden we now had this flux of hires. So, if anything, on reflection, I would say we hadn't nailed recruitment, we had nailed the process of getting people in. All right, so you've told her, you've warned her, high drama, high diva, high maintenance.
It's fine.
I've never had a PA before. Yeah, I thought about first getting a PA 10 years ago, so.
I was 11.
Oh, well, that put it into fucking perspective. As I said to you early on, like, you and I are going to have a very different dynamic of relationship probably to everybody else. I want you to ask me 1,000 questions.
So I'm not annoying?
Not at all, not even a little bit.
And you have your barbecue on top.
Okay, brilliant. Nice work. I'm a hugger. Stand up. Welcome to the family.
Oh,
great to have you here. Sorry to knock your hat off.
I know.
Having a PA was just, it really gave me scope on how to scale myself. Scaling a business is one thing, but how you scale an individual that is a personality behind a brand, like, it's a totally different ball game. So for me, my goal with the hiring of a PA was to get to a level of performance whereby I was only focusing on the highest of high level tasks that were required, that used my brain, that gave the greatest levels of ROI in the areas that I most enjoyed, and get rid of everything else. Now, I don't know if you saw an email, Renee has resigned. No. We've also just lost Nat and Katie as well.
Go off.
So Marie's filled you in, obviously, with Amy.
Yes.
Interesting timing. It's like, why would you just come in and give... She didn't want to give 2 weeks notice, she wanted to give a week and a half.
Bit worse.
Well, listen, we're sad to see you go. I'm sure Marie's already probably told you that, but I'll echo those sentiments. Probably a little bit of a shock. But look, if I can just speak openly, if there's one thing I can just give you as maybe a bit of advice moving forward, if you're ever going to leave an organisation, give more notice. Like a week and a half or 2 weeks notice in the situation you're in right now, it kind of puts us in a bit of a hole. But apart from that, let's move on to the next chapter, which is you have been amazing. Seriously, dude, you're a rock star. You are leaving a hole that's going to be very difficult to fill. I never want any situation to transpire without a greater level of understanding coming from it. And that scenario there,
I knew there was a lesson in there, but I didn't believe it was my lesson.
But I'd love Marie to get something out of this, because I got a lot, when I learned how to manage Matthias taught me how to be a better leader, because he brought out my empathy and my softer side. And Marie hasn't had that opportunity yet. I sense there's some leadership lessons in there for both of us.
Sure.
I don't know, maybe Amy will be your Matthias, because Matthias is the one that rounded me out. And you've still got an edge that I used to have, but your edge is stronger than mine.
Really?
Yeah, like would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think in the past sometimes I gave feedback just to say what I wanted to say and be heard.
Yeah.
And I was more interested in saying what I wanted to say than having what I'm saying be understood.
So it's less constructive, it's more about you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that was my experience. I'm not saying that's yours, I'm just saying that was mine. Navigating my communication in a way to ensure that the message lands. Yeah.
With that in mind, better make a...
All hands. All right, quick powwow. Amy is going to be leaving us, and today is actually her last day. But I can speak as a parent that I know how tough it is when you're trying to work and be a parent at the same time. And I know how much of a challenge it can be to make the decision to focus more on being a parent than actually working. But it's also really important for you to know that not only will you be missed, you've actually left a legacy. You've done great work in this organisation, and as I said, I've never heard anyone say a bad word about you except for Eric. And frankly, who cares what Eric thinks? Come on, let's be honest. But yeah, so we're going to miss you, mate. I've got some music. Oh no, I've got it. I've been waiting for that moment.
Well, we've got you till 9, Amy, haven't we? 9 p.m. tonight.
So fucking get on with it, will you?
It's always hard, challenging, emotional, depending on the level of connection and the relationship you have when you lose good talent. But at the same time, it's exciting, because 9 out of 10 times when someone's been with us for an extended period of time, they leave us, they're always going to do better things. You can't stay in an environment like this for an extended period of time without being impacted and affected in the way that you hold yourself and conduct yourself as a human being.
Luna Park, baby. Luna Park. Meow. Different with all this space. The energy's it's not a pressure cooker anymore. It's different. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying the challenge. It's just a challenge. What? Hi, buddy. Hey. Here, I'll lift you up so you can see everyone. Say, hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Say, how are you today?
How are you today?
Say, you're awesome.
You're awesome.
How old are you?
I'm 4.
You're 4?
Yeah.
You're trying to pick up chicks. You're 3. He is so social, isn't he? So social.
He was so good.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
He was so confident when he came on stage.
Just walks out. Hi, everybody. What? Just found out that the venue's going to kick us out in an hour. Don't have time. We've got to go. All right, can we please give out the gifts? Crew? Crew, can I ask you to do me a favour? Can we all finish strong together as a team? To infinity and beyond!
We're going to get kicked out of this room at 6. They're going to shut us down.
Like walk in and command everyone out?
Yeah.
Why are we only finding this out now?
We knew about half an hour ago, and we've stretched security for half an hour, hence why we've had to set up out here.
But why am I only finding this out now?
Because the venue came to us and said you're getting kicked out.
But why would we only know this now?
I can't answer that.
How can we only know this now, that we're going to get kicked out of the venue?
She just
came up to Bart and said that you have to have security to stay in the building, and the security team is like going home and needs to be convinced to stay. So we convinced them to stay for an extra 45 minutes, but they all refused to stay longer. So I don't know.
And we only found this out now, an hour ago.
Yeah, because they said they were flexible, and we only literally found out an hour ago. So
All right, you need to go in hard. Because I love this venue and I want to come back.
Yeah.
But that pissed me off. Like having to run, yeah. Killed. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Is Harley around? Is Harley? Can we find Harley? Can you just get a group of crew to ensure that as people are coming up, just letting them know that we only need a little bit of time? We only have a little time. We need to move faster, guys. Hey, man, how are you? Awesome.
How much longer do you want?
Huh?
How much longer do you want?
No, there's a lot. We'll keep going. I just want you guys to make these guys like a factory machine.
I'm on it.
Guys, like a factory. I am so proud of you, brother. So proud of you, man. Well done, man. I'm proud of you.
We're going to do keep going?
Yeah.
They are pushing me. They want us out of here within 9 minutes.
Okay, I've got 9 minutes, so let's keep going.
I just want to say thank you.
Hey, brother.
Thanks for everything.
You're welcome, man.
I just want to say appreciate your time.
Are they literally kicking it out?
Literally, like they came up to me and they're like, you have 10 minutes. I'm like, okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you hanging out, man. Honestly. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm so grateful. I'm sorry that we kept you guys back. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. We're getting rid of everyone now. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you. Where else is there? More security? Wow, they're literally about to start kicking people out. Okay, where's Harley? Okay, where's my stuff?
It's all that back and we go straight back.
Okay. Hey, brother. Thank you, mate. Seriously? Not fucking happy. I can't fucking believe they're kicking us out.
It was unbelievable going. Like, he was pushing people out. They were very aggressive.
Proud of you.
Thanks, dude. Thank you guys so much. Like, honestly, I know we kept you back longer. I actually thought we had you guys for longer, so I apologise for any inconvenience.
No, that's cool.
Are you serious?
I wanted to stay, I would have got paid more.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Cheers. That was a fucked up situation. That's cost us money. Like, that's cost sales. We were the ones that signed the contract. So, you know, in essence, we were the ones that were responsible for not setting up the parameters of what we required, you know, for the situation such as that. But that event, that cost us money. That being kicked out like that cost us sales. A lot. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Ready for a big week? Yeah.
Of course.
Ready for a big week?
Yes.
There we go.
Money. How you doing, gorgeous?
Can we have a quick catch up?
Yeah. Mezzy. Uh-oh. That's not a happy face.
No. It's not going to be happy.
But what the fuck, what's the go with Merrin? Like, why is she sulking? Like, last night I came to her and said, what's going on with the venue? And she's like, well, it's just, and like, didn't want to take responsibility for it. And I'm just like, well, fucking whose responsibility is it then?
It's pretty bad.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's bad. I've never seen it.
I've never, in fucking
15
16, oh yeah, me 16 years, never.
Yeah.
Mez, who has the Luna Park contract? Could you dig that out for us and bring it in? Specifically looking at what happened last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the space for fucking people to be sulking right now. I really do not have the space.
This is what it is. Yeah.
Chris and I have separated last night. Yeah.
Do you think this is the time?
To separate?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know it's been
I feel
coming.
it's been coming. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm okay with it. Like, it's all right. It feels like the right thing to do. We hugged it out. The tension's gone. Chris has moved into the other bedroom. We're actually getting along even better this morning. But, you know, I've just given my fucking all for the last, 3-4 days. Lose my fucking wife last night, come in today. I'm not gonna fucking put up with anyone sulking.
No. I think we give them too much responsibility.
For the age and experience, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to apologise for pushing them. I can't.
Oh, no, not at all. I think people should be pushed.
Yeah.
Completely pushed. Every day. But you can see her face. I can see it.
I'm going to call her in and just say, hey. Hey, Mez, you got like 2 secs?
And she's going to feel the burden of it.
Oh, yeah. Are you okay? Because you seem like you're not on your game today.
I was tired.
And a bit emotional. You okay?
I'm just pissed off.
With?
Oh, it finished.
Okay.
I'm not happy.
Look, we're going to debrief it, but I guess I just need, I need you on your game for this debrief.
Yeah.
I know it was a tough finish. So that's obviously the worst possible scenario as an events company that you could have as a farewell to your clients. Get out of the event. That looked like a nightclub shutdown. That absolutely looked like a nightclub shutdown. Yeah, lights are on, everybody out.
Yeah.
Here's what would you like to know what I would have done?
Yeah.
I would have offered every security guard $500 each, and I would have gone up to $1,000 each.
Okay.
Cash to stay. Like, that's how I work, like scenario, okay? This is the problem, what's the answer? They need to leave, why are they here? They're here to make money? Okay, I'll give you $500 to stay an extra hour and a half.
Okay, yeah.
Again, I've already spoken about this with Mary. This is the type of, are you guys getting this? Like, this is the type of thinking, that as far as I'm concerned, nothing's fucking impossible. Everything is possible, it's always finding the way to make it happen. And this whole responsibility, extreme ownership thing, I think some of you guys are using it as a panacea to get off easy. Oh, I'll just accept responsibility and then everything will be okay. And that's great, but that's 50% of the fucking equation. The other 50% is, what are you gonna fucking do about what you're taking responsibility for? What would you guys now have done differently in that situation? Blow by blow.
Blow by blow, I think that when Bart first came to me and spoke to me about it, I should have just gone straight to Marie.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Marie is
As soon as I was aware of it.
Marie is the biggest hitter on the team when I'm on stage. And if there's a problem, it should be default, straight to Marie.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the balance. There's always balance, right? What's the balance of what happened last night?
Packed down really fast.
That was the fastest fucking pack down in the history of this company. And in the past, we've been told it takes a couple hours for us to pack down. You guys fucking packed down in like 20 minutes. Well, considering this has only happened once in 16 years, I can't fucking see it happening again. But yeah, this is a really big fucking lesson. This is like probably one of the biggest fuck-ups I've ever had at any event. Like, I've never seen anything like it. But I don't want to take away from the fact that this weekend, we changed about 281 lives. Like, I am convinced, or actually maybe 279, there's maybe a couple of skeptics in the room. And I don't want to take away from that, because I think sometimes I get so caught up on trying to be the very best at what we do at everything that we sometimes forget that we are actually the very best at touching people. You know, we may not have had a world-class event, but we had world-class transformations. You know, we had world-class connections. We've had world-class relationships that have been built. And, you know, I can't do this by myself. You guys all played an incredible role in this, you know, everyone. So I want to thank you guys all and just look at this as go, right, excellent, it is what it is. Let's leave the fucking emotion out of it and let's just keep moving forward and be the very best that we can be. Is that cool? Yeah. Great event, guys. Well done.
You okay?
I've cried.
I'm a bit worried about it.
I've done all my crying. So yeah, so now, as I said, it's happened. I've been preparing for it, so I feel prepared, but I also feel like there's part of me that I'm just so busy right now that I don't really have the time to dwell on it. And when I dwell on it, it'll probably hit me harder. But as I said, I've cried all the tears. I've processed all the emotion. I've regulated this. But what was interesting, as soon as we discussed it, the tension went and we're back to being really good friends. Like that. But yeah, it's just, it's interesting, I guess. I always wanted to get married and have kids because I wanted to have a son and give him what I didn't have. And then I got to like 35 and I was like, okay, I'm clearly not going to get married, not going to have kids in this lifetime. And then I met Chris and it happened. And so I'm really glad it happened, and I'm glad it happened with her. I'm very grateful. I've got nothing but enormous gratitude for Kristen and the gifts that she's given me. Without meeting Chris, I wouldn't have the friend that I have in her. Without meeting Chris, I wouldn't have this opportunity to be a father. And I honestly believe that the reason we broke up was so that I could step into my power as a father and become the father that I always wanted to become, that I hadn't felt perhaps either confident or strong enough to do. And now we're there, I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change a thing. I just love it. And who knows where it's going to go from here? Like, nobody knows. All I know is I'm open, but right now, this is exactly what was required for me at this stage of my journey.
But I'd like to see if it's possible that if we can all take some lessons from some of my mistakes.